Or Title Talk with your host, Drew Wishover, entrepreneur, published author, and owner of Inspired Title Group, along with his co-host and director of operations, Amy Maley. Each week, the team will offer industry terminology, tips and strategies, along with the occasional real estate professional to help educate as it pertains to buying, selling, or just plain old home ownership. We thank you for spending time with us today. Now, let's join this episode of Title Talk.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Title Talk 2.0. I am your host, Drew.
And I am your co-host, Amy.
We are sitting here and blessed to be with a wonderful attorney that we are happy to bring on the show and learn some more about. His name is Adam Berger. And and there's funny behind that because like seconds before we went on, he goes, don't mispronounce it. And there was never an idea that I was going to mispronounce it until
now.
he said it. But I didn't mispronounce it. Adam, welcome. Thank you guys so much for taking some time and joining us today. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about you and who you are and all the credentials of you, Berger.
Sure. Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. It truly is. So, Adam Berger. I am with Miller Berger.
He said
His
it right.
own name right.
That's the first thing.
Uh-huh.
So, but anyway, I own a law firm in downtown Chicago.
Okay.
We're a full-service business law firm. We handle everything from, I would say, corporate formation, contracts, mergers, acquisitions, real estate, employment, litigation, you name it.
Nice.
No divorce, no criminal.
Okay, all right, good deal. In this market that we're in now, though, like, is this, is there a primary focus of where, your attention has been?
So I would say that for the most part, we are outside general counsel
Okay.
to most of our clients. And what that means is when the owner of a business says, call the lawyer, it's us.
Mm-hmm.
And we never know what it's going to be. It could be, hey, I want to buy a manufacturing facility. I want to sue my competitor. I've got a franchise agreement that I'm looking at. It could be just about anything. So right now, we, I would say from a real estate perspective, we're seeing a huge uptick in commercial
Sure.
transactions. Lots and lots of activity in the commercial space.
Is there usually a reason for that, or no?
So I think now there are a lot of folks that are looking to get out of real estate holdings,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got a lot of clients that are very strong and heavy with cash,
Gotcha.
and they're looking to invest and take advantage of some of the softer prices.
Okay.
When you specifically say like the commercial, is it I think people quickly go to like strip malls. I mean, it could be everything, right? Like bigger buildings and.
Absolutely. So we have I have to say it's the most diverse. Diversity is a very popular phrase now, but diversity is certainly our strength right now with regard to real estate.
Yeah.
Medical office buildings, manufacturing facilities, industrial land, car dealerships, construction companies.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happens to all these places after they're all sold? Like, what's as you're in it and you're in it pretty strong. What do you see this future looking like as things are continually being sold? I mean, obviously somebody's buying them, right? Because you're on the other side of it. But is there a diminishing law of obviously COVID hit, people aren't utilizing those spaces anymore.
I think
about that?
Sure. I think that there's a lot of opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
and so for example, restaurants.
Right.
So a restaurant closes during COVID.
Right.
And this is a real example. A client drives by the place every day,
Mm-hmm.
calls me and says, hey, what do you think about this building over here?
Yeah.
It's got all the equipment, it's got all the,
Right.
it's ready to go.
Yeah.
I already own a successful restaurant. What if we can get in and try to buy it and,
Sure.
capitalize on
Right.
the fact that it's been sitting there empty for now 2-3 years.
Right.
So we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing people that can kind of maximize their efficiencies.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got clients that are in, let's say, construction.
Sure.
And instead of buying a certain component from you, they just buy your business.
Right, right.
And so now you can retire happily, my client can continue to operate,
Right.
buy
Yeah.
from now his own business. And so it makes things, it streamlines things.
Right.
We're seeing a lot of kind of consolidation
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
of people's businesses. So, a physician wants to expand. He doesn't want to just be a doctor. So he buys the building
Right.
Right.
that he's currently leasing from.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a lot of things like that.
Okay.
Wow. Is there a big difference between commercial real estate and residential as far as transactionally?
Well, usually, I would say yes.
Okay.
Globally, no. You're still just buying.
Right.
It's
Something,
still it's still the same
Buy, sell.
base transaction.
Right.
Mhm.
But what you're seeing, I think, a lot of is the real estate transaction is going hand in hand with an asset purchase agreement.
Right.
So you're buying out the equipment. You're buying
Correct.
out
It's-
the.
Okay.
So there's a lot more that's going into it
That
than
makes
just
sense.
buying a house.
Yes.
Right.
You're buying machinery, equipment, you're buying furniture. And sometimes, I always stay in my tax lane,
Mm-hmm.
but there are reasons to buy the assets from a tax perspective,
Mhm.
or to buy what's called goodwill,
Right.
blue sky.
Right.
You can buy the brand name. We've helped people buy out businesses, and they absolutely must have that brand name so that they can
Continue
going,
with
yeah.
what's going. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys are just tuning in, we are visiting with Adam Berger. He is an attorney that is located in the city of Chicago, doing some commercial real estate. We're having to focus on that for the moment. But I think that's an interesting piece because, you know, a lot of the listeners, they speak residential, they speak buying and selling their homes, but then there's the folks that are, you know, holding on to a business or a building that they're going, what do I do? How do I unload this? And, you know, what does that process look like for somebody who's maybe contemplating selling their building and business together? Is that who do they contact? Where do they go to? Like, what's that process look like?
Sure. Well, there
His phone
are.
number's up there.
There he is.
Call me.
Yeah.
But I was going to say there are business brokers out there.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that if you know one, feel free to call them. If not, in all seriousness, call someone like me. You don't have to call me, but we do have very good expertise in that space. I think the key is finding you gotta find the right match. And usually when we talk to a client, if they're looking to sell or if they're looking to buy, we try to have a round table. How do we find the right party for you?
Right.
How do we find you wanna buy a medical office building? Okay, what kind of practice? Is there something that you want? What are you looking for?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we can call our connections in the industry. We do tons of networking. We have a very, very big, broad network of folks. In terms of the mechanics, these are not simple
No.
transactions.
No.
I will say this, if someone's looking to invest, what we are seeing a lot of are people picking up condominiums in the city.
Mhm.
Very, very active right now are condos.
Commercial condos?
No,
No,
I'm
residential.
sorry, residential
Yeah,
condos.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for like the regular folks like us, if we wanted to get into like investment property, I'm seeing a lot of action in condominiums.
Interesting.
You have a lot of folks that are buying condos that have been put on the market for just fire sale prices.
Wow.
And they may need a little bit of work, but if you find a building that has a good lake view and it's got good amenities like a swimming pool,
Yeah.
and they allow renters,
Interesting.
that's,
Golden.
you're golden.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
rental market is exploding.
Oh yeah.
And that's typical. I mean, when interest rates increase,
Right.
that's the
We'll
the
rent for
other
one
side
more
of it,
year, yeah.
right? Yeah, we're gonna
Right.
rent versus
And
buy
so,
because
yeah.
interest rates are high.
Right.
And I think what we're seeing is there's this backlog of the pipeline because the buyer is going, well, I'm not gonna sell my house because there's nothing out there to buy, so I'm gonna wait a little while, and they don't put their house on the market, which is the trickle-down effect of stopping.
Don't
and,
look
you know,
for homes
stifling
right
the
now.
market.
It's not fun.
Yeah, but if the investment side of it, there's opportunities.
For sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you work. Your law firm is Miller Berger,
Correct.
Is that where you've always been?
No.
No,
So my
okay.
partner and I left a much larger firm,
Okay,
and we decided to do things a little bit outside the box.
okay.
We're very aligned in terms of our approach to client service. If you call us, we answer the phone. If you email us, we will email you back. If you text us, so I didn't bring any business cards today because you folks know who I am, but.
And it's up there if you need it.
But my business cards, all of our business cards, every attorney in our firm, we have 7 attorneys.
Okay,
And everybody's business card simply has their name, their cell phone number, and their email address. That's it. You don't need, if you need to get in touch with us, you've got
this is
it.
how you do it, yeah.
So we answer our phones, we do all our work by cell phone for the most part.
Mhm.
And we felt that the traditional law firm model wasn't really, it's not structured for future success.
That's
You don't need a huge fancy office, you don't need a ton of administrators, you don't need a lot of administrative support. What you need are really passionate
Handful of-
lawyers that are really, they're dedicated to the craft, dedicated to the customer service, the clients, the interests. And what we try to do is, from day one, we said, we want to partner with our clients.
Right.
We're not just a vendor, we want to be a partner with you to make you successful. How can we really help you? And I have to say that that's the key. We started our firm in 2020,
Okay.
and yes.
Sorry, my
I remember that time.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that our trajectory has gone only one direction,
That's so
and
great.
that is up.
That is
And
fantastic.
the word of mouth has been just incredible. We are so happy that our
Yeah.
clients are pleased with our work and that we're doing the right thing. We're good.
Yeah.
We're really good, we're happy.
That's really great.
But it speaks volumes to the authentic person,
Yes.
the genuine person that's sitting here in front of us. Like, it's not scripted, this isn't fake,
Nope.
this is who you are, this is what you get, you're being truthful to saying, call my cell phone, you need help, you have questions, I wanna be available to do that.
Mhm.
And it's realistic
Yeah.
to say that a lot of attorneys will, they do have a time where they're not gonna be available, and then they have that, the meter is always on, and, we're billing for every second of every minute.
I'm so glad you said that, because
Yeah.
that's one of my standard little pitch phrases or catchphrases is, the clock's not always on.
Right.
Just call me.
Yeah.
Just call me, if we can knock something out like that, it's fine.
Right, and the benefit that generates over time
Right.
is, you can't measure that, and it's something that I think other people should maybe, hear that, because we, align with that same theory is, you can call us, it's not a big deal, let's get the answer, because they're gonna remember that versus the bill that they get and go, oh my gosh, every second that we talked is on here.
So I know lawyers that they'll go to lunch with their clients, they're gonna bill them for the time it takes to travel to lunch, they're
Right.
gonna bill them for the lunch,
Right.
okay, they're gonna bill them for whatever they're talking about at lunch.
Mhm.
So you could have a several $1,000 lunch with your attorney.
Yes,
You wanna have lunch with me? Let's go have lunch.
right, exactly.
McDonald's on him. I'm just kidding.
No, I just mean like.
No, for
that's
sure. But
part
like,
of
let's,
it,
yeah.
you know, I mean,
It's a client relationship.
and the relationships are actually what I think helped us through the COVID years.
Sure.
Yeah.
It also, not that we necessarily needed help, but I think it helped the attorney-client relationship really develop and get stronger.
Mhm.
And so the key, at least in our industry, I think, is long-term relationships, long-term dedication to what the client needs. It's not about just billing. It's about, how do I solve your problem? How do I get you to where you want to be?
Right.
I feel like people don't say that enough. So
Right.
thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, because it,
it is important, and again, it's that authentic, person, it's genuine to say, we understand that we're providing a service, but we also understand that you're in a spot that needs what we have, and we can work through this and not have to do it, at the financial level all the
Correct.
time.
Well, the
right?
world has changed so drastically in such a short period of time in so many different ways.
Yeah, that's true.
We need to be there for you.
Yes.
And I know it may sound corny, but we live it.
Right.
We are there for you. You need us, we're there. And if that'll help you, I'm all the more happy for it.
And there's something to be said for like a smaller company.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just,
Mhm.
we get it on our side too. It's like that handheld customer service is kind of what
Yeah.
is forefront for everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's developing, the relationship is, you talk about all these networking events and all these different, things that are, that lunch and learns and all. We call them relationship-based, events because, it's, I don't wanna network with you, I wanna develop a relationship with you. I wanna
Work with people I
know
like.
you more than, oh, I see you at the networking events all the time. Well, that's great, but what have you done with that? To your point, if you've gone deeper and you've gotten engaged and involved, now you're in a relationship space. And at that level, it's a totally different place to function from business, right? From a perspective of business. And knowing, that's what you're about and that's what your firm is about, you create a culture.
Correct.
And, that was obviously something that caused you to leave where you were to where you are now, right?
Well, and frankly, I think that applies to both of us.
Yeah.
That's the brand.
Yeah.
You're developing a brand of caring and investment
Mhm.
in one another.
Right.
Yeah. What you got? I know you're a question person, you're all about it. Go.
Is there ever a deal you turn down?
So.
Without giving, giving too many of the, raw and raunchy details.
Yeah. There
Just
was-
yes.
No, there was a transaction that involved, some things that were clearly not
A little fishy?
up to code.
Yeah.
And they were trying to skirt the law,
Mhm.
and I just didn't wanna have anything to do with that.
No.
Life is too short.
No,
I don't need something coming back to me
Nope.
and hurting me or hurting my client,
Well, it's
so-
good that you follow your gut, not just
Mhm.
taking any deal to make money, and that's
Yeah,
a good thing.
We're all about the SWAN method to sleep well at night,
Oh, yeah.
right? It just, I don't wanna do a deal that gets us into something where we're going, man, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
And again, there's a lot out there.
With lawyers, yeah, that's the last thing.
Yeah,
you wanna do.
But, we know the industry, you know the industry, there's a lot out there. How do you capture that relationship with that client? What's your pitch to that client to make them feel like you're making us feel, that comfortability piece?
I basically do what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
myself.
human. Yeah.
That was the answer I was pulling him to give, and I knew that just speaking with him a little bit before we went on, I knew that was the answer I was gonna get. And that is really the answer you guys should be looking for, is if they're trying to be somebody that they're not, or trying to be somebody that you want them to be, like, okay, then this is.
Well, and here's the way I describe it. There are far too many people that behave like a character they've seen on TV or in a movie. And I sit back and laugh, I'm like, listen, I don't know where you got that, but that's not working. It's not.
Whatever this is,
Right, whatever all that is,
Yeah,
it's not working.
put that away.
Yeah, just be yourself.
Yeah.
And when I meet people that it's screaming at me that they're not being themselves, it's like, okay, I don't,
So you're a people reader.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Attorneys are.
Well, I'm also a trial attorney, so,
There it is.
so I have to be able,
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes.
So wait, he's reading us. What do you see?
I see group hug.
I see.
We're gonna be doing a kumbaya here in a little bit.
Is that good?
All right, okay, well, I didn't think it'd go there, but it did.
Yeah.
You, go ahead, you have another,
Was being an attorney always your plan?
No,
No.
no. I was either going to be a baseball player or a motorcycle rider. And I don't know what that was. I remember, I grew up in the 70s, and I saw a lot of guys on those big choppers.
Those big handlebar.
I don't know what that guy.
Can somebody take a picture of this, please? He's so good.
That's a job, I wanna do that. And my folks are like, okay, sweetie, you can do anything you want.
You can be anything you want to be.
So for a long time, I'm like, I wanna be a motorcycle rider. I'm like, how does
that pay?
I don't know. But then I realized.
How, like, if you got into one of those trick shows,
Yeah.
like those traveling circuses?
Sure,
Like
there you go, the traveling circus.
Well, I think then I turned 9, and then I realized, wait a second, I'm not going to play in the major
MLB,
leagues,
yeah.
and I'm not going to be a motorcycle. So I don't know what the heck I was going to be,
Yeah.
and I just kind of followed my academic course, and I actually after college, I went and worked for Colliers.
Okay.
So you were talking about strip malls,
Mhm.
and I had a wonderful experience
Yeah.
doing commercial real estate, leasing and management of strip malls.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So from there, it was a natural jump to law.
Right.
It just kind of was my next, maybe not.
Okay. Well, it's more natural than the
Right.
Yes.
Less golf, less driving around, more books.
Yes.
But for me, it was kind of a natural transition.
That, yes.
I'm just thinking about your head on one of those like early riders right now. That's all I'm like visualizing right now.
There's no doubt that that's gonna be a meme.
There's gonna be a burger meme on
Yeah.
my motorcycle.
It's probably my office doing it right now. I'm gonna get back, it'll be all over my
Yes,
ass.
they captured that. Uh-huh. Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
that is absolutely fantastic. The reality of like this and kind of, business and the industry is difficult. And, it doesn't have to always be. It doesn't have to be with your, the circle and the partnerships that you develop within business. You can have these type of relationships, and that's, this is genuine. Like, this is truly the first time that we've met Adam, and this is the first, interaction that we've had, and it seems as though we've, talked for years. So that type of connection is really where good things happen
Yes.
from it. And I tell you that as you're looking and seeking out these opportunities for attorneys that are, comfortability places and things, I mean, it doesn't get any more realistic and genuine than what we're doing right here. So I certainly appreciate your genuine and your
Yeah.
authentic space. I get these crazy advertisements in the mail about, do you want to sell your business, and do you want to do this, and do you want to do that. You could actually, if I called you and said, you know what, I want to sell the title company, that's certainly something that you can facilitate that transaction from beginning to end, as far as getting me connected with the parties to solicit that piece.
I could.
Am I losing my job?
We'll talk about that after the show here.
Not yet.
Depends on if Adam wants to buy a business. I'm thinking about shopping right now. I've actually just went ahead and said, I'm going motorcycle.
We'll get some really cool, like, inspired leather jackets.
Genius.
Sign him up, he's in.
We've got a gang, it's the Inspired Gang.
Sorry.
But
But yes, any kind of business. So, obviously, it's easier if you come to me and say, I've got somebody that wants to buy my business, or there's a business I want to buy and he's willing to sell.
Okay.
But we do have the, I would say we have a huge network.
Nice.
And it's just a matter of picking up the phone.
Yeah, so I mean, that's, I add that to kind of his resume, to saying that, where does it start? How do I start? I think the start is engaging with Adam,
A phone call.
and then letting him kind of direct you and talk you through the next steps, or maybe some suggestions and recommendations as to what would be logical. And, obviously having, a deal already in place, that's easy. Those are the slam dunks.
Sure, and we've
You know.
fielded phone calls from folks as far away as the Middle East and Canada
Wow.
that are involved in transactions.
Holy cow.
Wonderful. So you guys are licensed across the U.S. then?
No, we're licensed here,
Okay, that's
the
good.
transactions, well, we had like the tri-state area.
Okay.
Indiana, Wisconsin,
Okay.
Illinois, we can cover that.
Okay.
The key with the out-of-country transactions is that they're ultimately gonna take place here,
I see.
in the Chicago
Right,
area.
okay.
But the investors were all over the world.
Right, that's not uncommon, yeah.
Yeah, and so we get calls all the time from folks, hey, I saw you on your website, or I Googled business lawyer,
Yeah.
mergers, acquisitions, and I found you. Great, let's talk.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
All right, future plans for you or the firm, or
So
or
just,
when will you know you've
Yeah, what do
made
you want to
it?
be when you grow up?
After this one.
That's the real summary.
No.
so I don't know what I think just keep doing what we're doing. I believe.
Grow to 500 people?
No, goodness no.
Yeah.
No, I
You're
mean,
kind of happy in here.
yeah, we're good, we're growing. I would say maybe anywhere from 10 to 15 lawyers.
That's great.
Would be ideal.
Okay,
So we're at 7.
That's great.
halfway
I
there.
think we're on our way.
Yeah,
But for the most part, again, just keep doing what we're doing.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
That's really great.
That's really great. And, is there anything that you want to maybe share with the audience, plug, or kind of give them before we get out of here? What do you want to, you got a story? Did I take your thunder?
Well, I didn't ask my horror story.
Yeah.
But I said the no to transaction.
So
I think
wait,
that-
give me a good question.
So I always like to ask our guests
Guests.
any horror stories
Yeah, a transactional horror story.
besides the motorcycle and the.
That was, I mean, we really,
I mean, we.
it's hard to top the level of that.
So I don't really have a real estate horror story,
Oh,
Mhm.
but I have a different weird story.
yes.
So
Weirder than motorcycle?
Yeah, we were on
Okay.
vacation last year
Mhm.
in Florida.
Okay,
Beautiful place called Anna Maria Island.
yes.
I go there every year.
It's the greatest.
It is this
Should I
is
leave?
dumb.
Should
No,
I-
I mean, Skinny's, you know Skinny's?
Which one's skinny?
Skinny's is the little burger place that is up at the top.
I feel like
best
it was
burger
crashed
on the
first
island.
date.
Did we up by Bean Point?
It's right by the Bradenton Beach.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if we did skinnies. We did like ugly grouper. We
Yes.
Did, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best.
This is
Ryan, I crashed the
ridiculous.
first date, get me out of here.
This is ridiculous.
It's all good. I love it. I told you, group hug.
Alright, sorry.
So no. So anyway, I love. I'm kind of a snorkel fiend.
Okay.
Me too.
I'll throw a mask on
Yep.
and jump in the water just to see what the heck's going on.
Nice.
Anyway, so I'm snorkeling down this beautiful water, and I come face to face with what looks like a human hand. Terrifies me. So I grab it, I take it out.
Because that's what I do when I would see a hand floating at me, grab it.
No, wait, it was just the bones. It was just the bones.
It's a skeleton
Right, it was a
head.
skeleton hand. And so I take it out, and my
Stop it.
wife is like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's not me. I didn't do anything.
Oh, wait, stop it.
So we looked, and my kids were like, that's a human hand. Those look like wrist bones. So we did some research, and we were all completely freaked out. We didn't know if we needed to talk to the police. Anyway, it turned out it was a pig's knuckles.
Oh.
Something that must have come from a barbecue, a restaurant,
yeah.
or something.
Oh, how freaky
But
is that?
it was terrifying.
What
It
year was
really
this?
Last year.
Yeah, I said last year.
I'm not going.
Yeah. But knowing it was just pork, it's just like somebody was, eating.
Honey, I told you not to throw your pork in the ocean.
So are you going to be as excited to snorkel next time? Will you still
Yeah.
throw on your mask and go?
No, now I want to find a skull.
This just got creepy.
I'm kidding.
He turns on ID at night and looks for the story of the snorkeler that found the skull.
Right.
Okay, so I already struggle getting my wife into the bay because of just, we fish for shark at nighttime and things.
Sure.
So she's like, you were just fishing for shark in the water. After this story, she's never, ever going in the
Well,
water.
it's a good ending at least. It's
It was
Pig knuckle,
It
what
was
the-
just a pig. It's
right.
fine.
Well, and when you look them up, they actually the way the bones are and it really does look like kind of.
There's going to be a
human
huge
hand,
influx in people Googling pig knuckles right now.
yeah. Do I get some sort of credit for that?
So what?
Hashtag pig knuckle. Yeah, exactly. Hashtag pig knuckles me. I've got my stage name and you've got yours.
All right, Dusty Feet,
got Dusty
Pig
Feet.
Knuckle, I love it.
Dusty Feet,
Coming
Pig
soon
Knuckle.
to a theater near you.
This
Good night, everybody.
absolutely went way off the tracks. But this has been definitely one of the best times that we've had in a long time. And I absolutely thank you for, if you need to get a hold of Pig Knuckle, his information is up there. He'll answer it. He'll absolutely answer that. I don't think it will ever be able to recover from this. Speaking of Pig Knuckles, Amy, right on time, perfectly done. And thank you so much. I can't call him Adam anymore either.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for being here. It was great having some laughs with you, learning a little bit about you. Folks, if you guys need or have any questions regarding, needing an attorney in the commercial space and or the other spaces that he mentioned. His information is up there, his phone number and contact information, you can get a hold of him down there. I'm sure you'll be seeing him again with us on this show because this was great and we absolutely enjoyed this. Amy is not going to stop laughing for the entire day. I've never gone to Emery Island, and Pig Knuckle over there is going to be coming to a theater near you. So, if you guys, thank you guys so much for taking the time today and tuning in. We appreciate you. Again, thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
great
Thank
meeting
you both.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Until next week, my name is Drew.
And my name is Amy.
And that's Pig Knuckle. We are out of here. Take care, everybody.
Well, there you have it. That is it for this week's edition of Title Talk. Be sure to head over to our Inspired YouTube page and subscribe and like. And make sure you follow the team on Instagram and Facebook. Join us again next time for more tips and knowledge from the industry pros. Thanks again for listening.